Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie starts with a heist. In Chicago, Harry Rawlings and his criminal gang's getaway van is blown up during a police standoff, after stealing $2 million from crime boss Jamal Manning. We then see Harry's wife Veronica, who grieves her husband's loss after his death. The women have to bury their husbands. Veronica attends Harry's funeral, where his remains are laid to rest beside their late son Marcus. Jack is in attendance, and he tells Veronica that he knew Harry very well, so he offers his services to her if she needs him. Jamal and his brother Yatemi also watch the service from afar. Amanda and Alice attend the funerals of their respective husbands. Linda is at home, and tries to console Carlos's mother Lita, but she blames Linda for what happened to Carlos, because she claims that he got into that life to support her and the kids, and now his blood is on Linda's hands. Alice is also in a bad place, as she has nothing to keep up her lavish lifestyle. Amanda, on the other hand, has a 4-month-old baby. Long story short, the 4 widows are screwed. Veronica is visited by Jamal that evening. He tells Veronica that Harry stole $2 million from him, which is money he needs to fund his campaign. Jamal forcefully holds Veronica's small dog Olivia by the collar, to prove he's not messing around. He then tells her she has 2 weeks to collect the money and give it to him. We then see Jack Mulligan, who is running for the alderman position of the 18th Ward. His father, Tom, is a former political victor, who hopes his son will follow in his footsteps. Running against Jack is Jamal Manning. Jack visits Jamal's campaign office, which is in a church, to essentially butt heads. Tom firmly demands that Jack win, and not be the first in their family to lose to a black man. Veronica is worried, thinking about how in the world she is going to return him the money. She does not want to sell her house, because she has a lot of memories connected to the place. She goes to a bowling alley, to meet a man named Bobby Welsh, who hands her a notebook left by Harry, that details all of his heist activities. Veronica learns that Harry's next heist involves stealing $5 million, and the heist was to take place at Jack Mulligan's house. Veronica tries to trade that book with Jamal, but he tells her that he does not need anything but his money. Having no other choice, Veronica decides that she herself is going to carry out the heist planned by her deceased husband. She, however, needs other people to pull it off. She thinks about it, and comes up with a plan to use the other widows, as she is well aware that they are as desperate as her. Only Linda and Alice come to see her. Amanda is unable to make it because of her baby. Veronica tells them what she is planning on doing, and the women refuse right away, but after contemplation, they look at their financial situations, and having no other choice, they agree to be a part of her plan. Jamal visits a church to speak to Reverend Wheeler for an endorsement, though he appears to already be siding with the Mulligans. Yatemi also visits Bobby at the bowling alley, to attack and torture him for information regarding Harry's notebook, which he says he gave to Veronica. He later calls Veronica to ask if she sold it, and she lies and says she did. Veronica again sees the women, and assigns them the work they have to do. She tells Alice that she has to arrange a gun and a car. And to Linda, she gives a blueprint, and asks her to find out where it belongs. Alice goes to an auction to get a van, and ends up paying more money than it's worth. To make things more difficult, Alice tells Veronica she can't drive, so Veronica plans to recruit Harry's old driver, Bash. Alice then goes to get guns, and has a woman help her buy guns, since she doesn't have the proper documents to purchase firearms. At the same time, Linda attempts to figure out the blueprints for the heist, but she can't make out the word on the paper. She visits a man whose house she believes to be the mark, by posing as someone working for a company that owns the house, but she slips up when she mentions the man's wife, whom he says has been dead for 4 months. Linda breaks down when she mentions her dead husband. She and the man start kissing, before Linda realizes it's wrong and she leaves. Linda later joins Alice, as the two go to a shooting range to practice. Alice does well, but Linda turns out to be a lousy shooter. Another problem arises, and their driver Bash is killed by Jatem, and the women now need a new driver. Alice finally listens to her mother's suggestion, and joins the escort site, and starts seeing a man named David. He turns out to be a real estate executive, and spots the blueprints, and tells her that it is a part of the safe house of Mulling's house. Now that Veronica has been looking for a driver, she goes to see Amanda at her house, who is weirded out by her sudden arrival. She does not really welcome her, and goes on to ignore her presence, by pretending to be checking up on her baby. As Veronica looks around, Amanda's pet dog starts barking near a closed door, and near that door, Veronica sees a bottle of brandy lying on the floor. She remembers that her husband used to drink that, and gets emotional. When she gets out of there, the door to the room opens, and Harry walks out. It is revealed that Harry is still alive, and he is the one who staged the drama about his death. A flashback then shows how Harry set up his guys, with a decoy in the driver's seat, and fired 2 shots, to get the police to fire at the van, just before he set off explosives to obliterate his men. Next, we see Harry on a boat with Jack, as they have been working together, and Jack had ordered Harry to steal from Jamal. The heist worked for both Jack and Harry. Jack knew that Jamal was going to spend those $2 million on his election campaign, so he accompanied Harry to pull it off. We then see back to 2008, when Marcus was driving, and did an illegal U-turn to go back home, and delivered something to Harry. He was pulled over by a cop, and almost quickly shot to death, when he failed to show his hands. After their son's death, Harry got involved with Amanda, and he wanted to get rid of Veronica, so he planned the heist in his death. He wanted to run away with Amanda right away, but he had to give half of the money to Jack. When Harry kept all the money and did not give the man his share, he started blackmailing him, saying that he will reveal everything to Veronica. This is why Harry has not yet been able to run away. This is why Harry made sure Veronica got that book, as he wanted her to execute the plan of stealing $5 million, so he can take the money from her when she has done the job. Ever since she came back from Amanda's place, Veronica has had this feeling that her husband is still alive, and that she is being set up. She is seen to be in deep thoughts all the time, trying to make sense of what has been going on in her life lately. She is heartbroken by the thought of being set up by her own husband, but she does not say anything about it to the other widows. Her days are spent thinking about the son she lost, and how her husband has left her alone to deal with a gangster. She, however, does not waste any time, and gets back to working on her plan. They are still in need of a driver. Linda notices how fast one of her friends, Belle, is, so she invites her to join the heist. Despite Veronica's initial reservations, she agrees to let Belle join, due to her take-no-shit attitude. One day, Veronica goes to see Jack, and requests protection from Jamal. In truth, she is there to figure out his house, and locate his safe house, where they are planning to steal. Belle is also outside the house, and she is trying to figure out where they are going to enter and exit. She also takes into account the cameras, the security guards, and other people residing in the house. After they have seen everything inside and around the house, they decide to get on with the plan. Veronica then hits another jackpot, as before the heist takes place, she finds Ken, the CEO of the Mulligan Security Company, and the man in the lewd photos she acquired earlier. They are of him with his niece. She found those photos in the diary of her husband. With her putting him in a corner, Ken gives Veronica the codes to the Mulligan safe. It is now decided, they are going to carry out the heist that night. Belle distracts the security guards outside, by firing flares into nearby cars. Veronica, Linda and Alice get inside with masks and devices that disguise their voices. They make it to the safe, and take all of the money, but just as they head out, Tom emerges from his room with his gun, and orders the women to drop theirs. He unmasks Veronica, and shoots Alice in the shoulder, wounding her, but Linda shoots and kills Tom. The ladies run out of the house and head to the van, only to find Belle held at gunpoint by Yatemi, who was sent by Jamal to take all the money. Yatemi hijacks the van, but the ladies give a chase and ram the back of the van, causing Yatemi to crash and die. Veronica takes the money, and Linda right away takes Alice to the hospital as she was shot. Veronica makes her way to their hideout. When she is taking care of the money, Harry appears and she starts crying. She is simultaneously angry and heartbroken at his betrayal. He attempts to justify what he did, as he was looking out for himself and his new family. He then goes on to ask her to give him the money, but when Veronica refuses to do so, he tackles her to the ground and picks up the money. As he walks away with the money, he turns to kill Veronica, but she shoots him dead first, with the gun that Linda used to kill Tom. We then see that Alice is planning to start her own business, while Linda is able to buy back the shop with her kids. Jack wins the election by way of sympathy votes for Tom's death. Belle also has a lot of money now, so she moves to another city with her kids, leaving all the mess behind her. In the final scene, Alice goes to a diner to meet a friend, and she sees Veronica sitting at a nearby table. A man then enters and sits with Veronica. She gives a large share of her money to the man, so that he can help build a library, but on the condition that it be named after Marcus. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.